Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2. Last episode, we basically ended up being given this keep. We now own Crossroad Keep, and we are a captain of Neverwinter. But we have to build it up. This place is a bit of a ruin. Look at all these buildings that are just kind of ruined. We need to speak with other people in order to try and improve them. And we'll need to speak with our companions, which we'll do later. I think, anyway. I suppose we can speak with them as we go. Chandra.
Yeah? Something wrong?
Anything to say?
Go on and ask.
No. Although there's a Havey we do need to speak to.
What is your will?
Tell me more about the Ritual of Purification.
The Ritual of Purification was the means by which the Empire of Ilfarn sought to protect itself from that which was supposed to protect it.
I think that needs a little more explanation.
It may seem to be a reason that feeds on itself, but such an act was believed necessary. The Ritual of Purification was a safety ward. Ilfarn had many enemies, and to defend against these enemies, they created a powerful construct, a guardian. Their wisdom mirrored their power. They recognized that they would need means of protecting themselves should the guardian turn on them.
And the ritual can do this?
Yes. It is said that by undergoing the ritual, one may be able to unmake the guardian.
Tell me more about the guardian.
The King of Shadows was born from the form of the guardian. Unmaking the guardian will wound the King of Shadows, and perhaps unmake him as well. But the ruins of ancient Ilfarn will tell you more as we progress. The ritual shall give you the weapons and the knowing of how to defeat our foe better than my words will.
So where do we perform this ritual?
Know that the territories on your empire are drawn over old lines, and where once this coast of swords was, there was another empire, many turnings ago. This empire had many citadels, many temples, many sacred places. They remain sacred still, and they hold an important piece of our struggle. We must journey to these Ilfarn ruins. There, the ritual must be performed.
I have some questions
I will
for
hear
you.
you.
Can you tell me about these shards?
These shards, they are pieces of the blade of Gith. This blade was believed lost. Now it has been found in you. This you know. Each shard contains a resonance within it, a power that you can unlock to strengthen your will. With the Ritual of Purification, know that these two things may be enough to defeat the King of Shadows.
But how do I reforge the shards?
When we have gathered enough, the knowing of healing the blade shall come soon after. And it will require great courage from you.
I wanted to ask you more about the Githzerai.
If it is your will that you would know more, narrow your question, and I shall answer.
Where are you from?
The people, the Githzerai, have made their home upon the shifting plane of limbo. There, thought becomes matter, and we are trained from birth to sharpen our thoughts and our purpose. Cities are built from our thoughts, as all else that encircles us is chaos. We live within the chaos of these planar currents, with only our knowing and our will to preserve us.
If not from Limbo, where were you originally from?
Your question strikes deep into history, and know that what you ask has an answer of many years. This is not the time to speak of it, and it is not my will you know this.
I guess we need to
If it is your will that you would know more, narrow your question.
When we first met,
and I
you
shall
said you
answer.
were a Zerth. What is that?
A Zerth is one who speaks the word of Zerthamon. A Zerth protects the community from threats to the body or mind.
Threats to the mind?
A Zerth focuses the wills of others by using the knowing of our people's history and beliefs to remove doubt, and heal one's will through the words of Zerthamon.
So you're like a priest?
That title would apply, yes. But while we hold the words of Zerthamon to be of importance, we do not worship him as your people do the gods of this plane.
Why is doubt so dangerous?
Doubt is the doorway through which attackers will come. Not just beasts, such as the Illithids, but other predators. Doubt is how our people were once lost, and it is an emotion that is deadly on our home plane. The plane of limbo, where we have made our home, is a plane of chaos, an unsculpted sea of matter. Matter that cannot be shaped by tool or hand, but only takes form through one's thought. Many minds united may create citadels no enemy may breach. But if one doubts, then the walls that surround our communities will be as nothing.
If someone doesn't believe, then your cities become vulnerable?
Yes, and that is why focus is important. No one wishes the tragedy of Shrocket to be visited upon our people again. The words of Zerthamon provide this focus, and it is the purpose of Azurth to pass along his knowledge to our people.
It is kind of interesting, the idea of limbo. An entire plane of existence where things only exist if you believe that they exist. Kind of in a way similar to the orcs of Warhammer 40k, where their weapons are only so powerful because they believe that they're powerful. It's an interesting idea. I would know more about Zerthamon.
Zerthamon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. When our people were in danger of losing their wills to the way of the Illithids a second time, he was the one who centered us and met Gith's treachery with his own blade.
What do you mean?
It is not my will to speak of this more. It is a chapter of our history that has lasted millennia, and it is difficult to recount.
Alright,
If
then.
it is your will that you would know more...
Can't
narrow
you summon
your
aid
question,
from the
and I
Githzerai?
shall know that there are many who would know the answer to that question. If my people moved against the King of Shadows, know the conflict would be over, and it would end in the destruction of all our peoples. Yours, the Githzerai, and the Githyanki.
What? Why?
If we entered this conflict, the Githyanki would turn upon us. And with his opposition divided, the King of Shadows would destroy us both.
It makes no sense. The Githyanki and Githzerai have a common enemy.
Whatever hatred exists between the Githyanki and the King of Shadows is a dim flame to the hatred the Githyanki bear my people. It is not a thing of reason. Know the Githyanki will not listen, and know that neither will my people. If there is any hope of meeting the King of Shadows and defeating him, it lies with you.
Why do you think I can save us?
I have known many heroes before they knew themselves. I knew Shardas's heart, whose mercy turned aside Vilquar's blade at Sargassa's end. I knew Olis's sacrifice before he gave his mind, filled with well-crafted lies, to turn aside the plans of the Illithids and shield us from a third war. And the tale of Dakon is known to all Zerths, when his loss of faith shattered the walls of Shrocket, and finally, when he came to know himself again at the pronouncement of two deaths as one. So when you ask if I think you can save us all, know that I have seen others with your will move the plains themselves and turn aside war. Trust this. Trust yourself, and even the King of Shadows will fall.
Why do you follow me, Zahavi?
Among my people, we hold belief, the ability to focus one's will, as a powerful thing. It is said that sometimes belief can stave off death, and if that is possible, I think belief in you is not so unlikely. I must believe you can defeat the King of Shadows, and I believe that more strongly than any who walk upon your plane, and because I refuse to believe in the alternative.
Okay,
I will
then.
hear you.
How did you end up imprisoned in Crossroad Keep?
Know that the path that led to me being chained is a twisted one, and the citadel that is now yours, Crossroad Keep, was not my destination. I journeyed to your plane to see the actions of the Githyanki with my own eyes. This plane, this Farron, is often in their thoughts and in their speech.
So you were spying on the Githyanki?
I observed them. The Githyanki are hunters, and they rarely release their prey. Yet it was the name of the prey they sought that first brought the matter to my people. It was said the Githyanki hunted the Kalakcha. Such a hunt must be confirmed with the eyes, and cannot simply be trusted to words traded from one to another.
And the hunt for me led you to Crossroad Keep?
Yes. My feet shadowed the path of the Githyanki, but we were both prey of another. In my shame, I did not see Shadow until it was too late. They took me, perhaps not recognizing the differences between our people, and chained me within Crossroad Keep.
How do I know you're not spying on me now?
I am observing you, yes. And whatever my eyes see, I shall pass along to my people and my allies in time. if it shall aid our cause. I would not consider my presence to be an obstacle to you. I am here to aid you. I know you are the only one who can prevent what is to come.
Do you know what your captors were doing?
That is not known to me. Whatever their intent, it was done in the service of the King of Shadows. Your attack on the ritual and the claiming of this citadel, however, will only be to our benefit in the battle to come.
Alright,
I will
had
hear
other
you.
questions. If this shard of yours is inside me, why don't you tear it out of me?
And by doing so, what would that prove to both of us, Kalakcha? That I am no different than the Githyanki that hound you? That I am careless of life like the Illithids? Know that that is not my will.
And why not?
Know that there are greater truths and strengths than what seems the quickest way. That is the way of the people of Gith, not the way of my people. Such acts fall in circles upon themselves, and what would seem a victory would only be our undoing. I believe there is a reason the shard lies in your heart, and not in the hands of the Githyanki, Kalakcha. And I will see that reason come to pass with my own eyes.
Very
I will
well.
hear you.
I'm not familiar with the Githzerai.
That is not unknown to me, nor is it a surprise. A Githzerai is one of the people.
Can you tell me more about your people?
Know that many lifetimes would go by before I recited but one of the annals of our people. If it is your will that you would know more, narrow your question, and I shall answer.
We've already asked these questions. That's all we have to speak of, so let's go. Okay, then. Eleni, out of curiosity, you're standing here. You have
Is
anything
there
to say?
something you need?
No, I don't believe there is. We may take her with us to other places. Well, there's an inn here we can investigate, I suppose. Well, Bishop's here.
So what does the great captain of Crossroad Keep want with his humble tracker? Something you want hunted down, my lord, or some forsaken path scouted?
Actually, pulling your weight with a little less backtalk would be good.
Is that a command, or just your opinion? Hard to tell nowadays, you being part of the nobility and all. Is that how you want to spend the rest of your days? With a squire by your side, a painted shield, and some pathetic code of honor to keep your back stiff as a board?
Bishop, you knew me before I became Master of Crossroad Keep. Has it really changed me?
No, maybe not. But it's hard to tell past the word sometimes, and that makes me a little suspicious. You treat me like one of your lackeys, you'll regret it. And God's help you if you try and order me around. I'm my own man. Got it? Now, is that all? Or did you have some orders for me?
You weren't too impressed with the people of Ember.
No, and neither should you. You're from West Harbor. Duncan told me what happened. The Gith show up, and you killed them. And you know what? There'd be a lot less misery in the world if everyone followed that simple rule. Either stand up and fight, or be prepared to suffer.
That's a bleak outlook.
Is it? Maybe when you don't let people stand up for themselves, you end up hurting them worse than if you let them take a few wounds. What would have happened if you never fought for anything? Why, you wouldn't have come all this way. Seems to me there's a strength in that. Something you can learn from. And so could those fool villagers in Ember.
Okay, then.
Go
Something
ahead,
else to ask?
but don't expect any answers.
And never mind, I'll be going now. Well, we lost some influence with him, it seems. A pity. Maybe. I mean, it's freaking Bishop. Why would we care about him? There's Sal. Wait, Sal? It's you, Captain, right? It's Sal. Sal from the Sunken Flagon. Well, formerly of the Flagon. I've been wiping tables for your uncle for years, with always the promise of starting my own inn. It always seemed to be just words until you came along. Once I heard what you were doing here, I packed my bags, wrote a note, and here I am. You said you wanted to run an inn? What, you thought I wanted to wash plates and tankards the rest of my life? I've always wanted to start my own inn. This keep's got everything going for it. It's right on the high road, it'll get plenty of merchant caravans, and it's got, well, you too. I figure I can turn this into a respectable inn, clean with entertainment. Oh, and good food. mention I'm a cook, right? Don't you need permission or something? You're the boss. Well, the real boss is Lord Nasher, and his agent already approved everything. You'll get plenty out of this. I'll bring customers, provide a place for the merchants to drink, eat, and spend a little money. Look, trust me, you need an inn. And that means an innkeeper. Me. And drinks will always be on the house, Captain. How's business? We've got business. Not a lot, but there are people dropping by. Things could be better. I've been talking with this master bard who's willing to send an apprentice to perform here. But he wants the place to be livelier, someone to dance to his music, he says. So if you spot anyone that would want to work here, grab them. I'll keep it in mind. Anyway, let's leave the inn. Don't really need to be here. Got all these other buildings out here that we can't really do much with at the moment. So, this way. And there, Kanna, our sergeant.
Officer Kanna, reporting for duty, Captain. Lord Nasher has given you a great honor. But rebuilding these grounds will be a considerable undertaking.
And one I look forward to. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Captain. I am Master Vedel. I won't lie to you. This keep is in a sad state of repair. We will need all the resources you can bring to bear to fix her up. With the help of my crew, we can turn this place into a true masterpiece of engineering.
Master Vedel is excellent at his craft and capable of what he claims, if somewhat eccentric.
I went ahead and inspected the grounds. There is much work that needs to be done. The courtyard itself is in a shambles, but that can be fixed quickly. Strong backs and long hours and you'll see the shape of the keep. And, well, what's underneath won't be pretty, but before long we'll have the keep cleared out for you. We're embarking on a true adventure. Men, set the camp over there. I'll draw up plans for the work.
There are preparations I must make. Come speak to me within the keep when you would like an update, Captain.
I will do just that. Well, let's start by speaking with this Master Vedel. We've cleared the grounds. As you can see, there is much work to do. My work requires a certain amount of coin. My men need to be fed, after all. And the amount of material, oh, it will not be cheap. There is good news, though. Sir Naval formally commissioned me to work on the project, and Lord Nasher will fund part of it. But the other part is up to you. I will need gold to rebuild, but Nasher's coin will cover expenses for a time. I live for my work, you see, but others don't. How much money did Lord Nasher give me? I do not know the exact figure. But not enough. People just don't appreciate how much good masonry costs. This missive details how much gold Neverwinter has allocated for Crossroad Keep. You can use those funds or your own to work on several things. The keep, the courtyard, the fortifications, and the surrounding lands. How does the courtyard look? The courtyard itself doesn't need anything, but there are several buildings that will have to be built from scratch. You don't have to worry about rebuilding all of it. Some accommodations will be built by people that come to live here. The inn, for example, is already operational, naturally. But there are some buildings that could become shops, and those will need work. What needs work inside the keep? The keep has been laid bare to the elements for decades. Many of the rooms are structurally unsound, don't you know? I've closed off many rooms until my men can work on it. Rubble will have to be cleared and stonework repaired in there, but it can be done. How much work do the fortifications need? Extensive work, and it's also the most time-consuming to work on. The outer walls wouldn't hold out a kobold with a table knife right now. And the fortifications are what Lord Nasher cares most about. But when my men are working on that, we can't work on any other projects until we're done. Is there anything wrong with the surrounding land? Nothing is wrong with it. It could just be so much more right. Crossroad Keep is atop a large hill, and the trail could be widened, maybe even converted to cobblestone. And the roads nearby have no local lord to maintain them. Those could be improved, as well as a bridge, and, well, a great deal can be done. Mostly, that will help with the trade, and that in turn will help you with funding the rest of the projects the men and I would like to undertake. Rebuilding the roads is simple, but very labor-intensive. When the men are working on that, they can't be doing anything else. Okay. How are things in the keep? It's starting to get packed. You really should let me fix some things. It just looks so distasteful. So many people milling around in the rubble. Tell me about yourself. I am Master Stonemason Vedel. I hail from Cormyr, and I traveled the many leagues to work on cathedrals, mansions, and palaces. Sadly, so did half the masons of Faerun, it seems, and no one seems to appreciate a true artist. Well, up until now, the faith you and Lord Nasher have put in me, well, it's just overwhelming. Can you tell me about Cormyr? The Steel Regent tends the throne for Azun V well enough, especially considering the troubles that beset Cormyr. Neverwinter's been no bed of roses either. That's why folk like you can make a living. There's enough that needs fixing for hundreds of your like. Alright, I want to rebuild something. Yes, of course. You have coin to spend, and you want to know how to spend it. Might I recommend doing some structural work on the keep first? So many of the rooms inside are closed off because they could collapse at any moment. No way for you to live. What part of the keep do you want to talk about? We currently have 70,000 gold remaining, and we can use our own gold that we've been building up for a while now in order to fund some of this. But let's see what options we have. The keep itself. So many rooms closed. Well, technically they were standing before I got here, but they were extremely unstable, don't you know? They can fall at a moment's notice. Sloppy. There are 3 sets of rooms that need more work. We can work on building you a personal suite, repairing and upgrading the library, or clearing out the west wing for other purposes. Just let me know what you want done. 15,000 gold for each. Not yet. Let's discuss another part. What about the courtyard? There's 2 buildings that would be ideal for merchants. One can be converted into a smithy, one that an armorer and blacksmith could share. The other could be a different type of shop, maybe for some general goods or a magic items purveyor. Just say the word and I'll get my men to work. Not yet. What about the fortifications? The first part of fortifying Crossroad Keep is making the walls. Well, more wall-like. It's a horrible mess right now. Holes everywhere. Just filling in the holes is the first step. Lord Nasher made it quite clear that he considers this a top priority. But it will take a long time to rebuild the walls, even with a wizard I've contracted for extra work. Maybe better to do quicker projects first. Most certainly, yes. What about the surrounding areas? Oh, besides the keep, my men can work on getting the merchant trails in a better state of repair. The trail to our keep is especially dreadful. It looks like it was made by goats, not men. Where was I? Oh, yes, and also work on the surrounding roads. Both will help trade, but they take time. While my men are working on that, they can't be assigned to other projects. 10,000 gold for that. I think the thing I'm going to do first would actually be the smithy. For reasons. It shouldn't take long at all, and the smithy will be complete. I have to go right now. I'll be back once the men have finished construction. So much to do. So much to do. Oh, indeed. And there's Wolf. Me and the lads have decided to sign on. We found a good place on the streets with you and yours, and nearly all of us decided to come here. We can run messages, carry pots and pans, even get water from the well, and of course clear a path for you if you need it. Give us time and we'll be able to whisk you away in any direction you need, and faster you can think it. You'll be there. Basically a fast travel way. Your Master Vedal does quick work. This place is me and the boys can guide you now. Just flag any one of us down and we'll clear a path. How are you doing? Me and the boys are doing well enough and then some. The farms, fields outside provide enough food and there's game in the hills. I'm city bred, but if I knew that the eating were this good outside the walls, I think I would have tried life in the country earlier. If you need anything, me and the boys are real appreciative. And we've got a grey cloak here, wearing a helmet and then wielding an axe. Oh, it's something. And into the keep itself. There's Kanna.
It is an honor to serve, Captain. You have been rewarded greatly with this stronghold. Long have I waited for my blade to be in the service of someone worthy. My waiting is over.
The honor is as much mine to have you and the others work with me.
You are too modest. We are the ship, and you are the wind that moves us. There is much yet that needs to be done. Rebuilding the keep itself, Master Vedal can handle. But training the Grey Cloaks to defend its battlements is very important. Training a few men can be done quickly with the right teachers. But Sir Naval has promised 100 men for you shortly. And if the keep grows, so will your retinue and your command. So, we must start with the basics and turn these farmers and shepherds into fighting men.
Besides training, what needs to be done?
There are a few families of farmers that will want protection from the local keep, as they had in years past. This section of the high road has also been plagued with bandits since Crossroad Keep fell to the King of Shadows long ago. We have been given the right to tie the merchant trains that come through, but until the road is made safe, any tithe collectors will find the road empty. Merchants prefer safer, longer roads, especially if they make more profit. But all of this relies on training your Greycloaks into capable soldiers.
Anything else?
I will carry out your orders when you are away. Once the men are trained, there are more things they can do. As our numbers swell here, I could use more able sergeants to oversee the men. I can train and assign tasks to sergeants if you find some for me. The decisions you make here may have a large impact on the cloaks and the people on your land. After some time, I'm certain Lord Nasher will have direct orders for your men. But until then, they are yours to command.
Indeed. And who is this Uncas person here? This is a nice place you got here. It looks like it still has some holes in the walls, but it's nice all the same. I'm Uncas. I know you're busy, so I'll be blunt with you. I've come here with a business proposition for you. I'd like to have some of my dealings here. I don't answer questions, and if you're the Inquisitor type, I'll just pack my gear and bid you good day. In exchange, I can find buyers for anything you want to sell. Anything at all. Just consider me a no-nonsense merchant. We good? Can you be discreet? I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could keep out of trouble. As long as I'm not the village idiot, I expect you to keep your dogs off me. As long as you don't break the law. What are you, some initiate of the Church of Tyr? I think I've presented myself clearly. That's your problem, not mine either. You tell me you can handle it or not. We're good. Then we're in business. For the use of the premises and your cooperation, what I'll give you is a good price. I'll buy anything you get, and sometimes I trade in information, and I'll pass along some free of charge. I'm looking forward to working with you. Alright, well first of all, 1,500 each, definitely. You're taking each of these. What have we got here? Shadow Thief, leather armor, padded armor, encircling scale. What is that? Dark vision, poison immunity, and uses poison. Weapon-wise, nothing we really care for. Katana, the Mummy Lord? Couple potions, not much there, and items there as well. Nothing we're going to be using. Okay, what else have we got here? Can we actually go into any of these other rooms? Kinda. Quara's back there. Door to the library is locked.
Great! What's wrong now?
You've got nothing to say.
No, sorry. I can't do that.
That room's blocked off. There's Cassavir.
Yes? Is there something you wish of me?
Nothing to say there. I've never seen the leadership of Neverwinter. Huh. I never saw that book there before. Interesting. And in here we have... Well, we can go downstairs, but there's also all these doors here that we can't open. Well, we can open this one with Guyven of the Road. I've seen much of the road during nighttime, but apparently so have you. You found old Guyven many a time. I think it'll be good to rest my heels here, record my thoughts, maybe make a few maps and enjoy life a while. But only for a while. The road calls old Guyven, yes it does. It's good to have you at the keep. Don't much care for the keep, I must say, but I don't much care for any walled place. Guyven's got his reasons for coming here. Before these old bones see their final rest, my secret's got to be passed on to someone who's walked as many roads as me. So, if you explore, old Guyven will share a thing or two. Pass on the wisdom of the road. Can you teach me your secrets? Throughout this wide land, you might find sights you'd never imagine. Sometimes you'll find some nook or cranny. Take a gander and explore it like old Guyven, then we can share some notes. I'd like to know more about you. Many a folk would like to. Seen all manner of things on the road, crazy things and terrible things. But Guyven isn't one for telling tales. Guyven listens and remembers, though, a whole lot of secrets in this head of mine. The only secret Guyven will share is the ones on his map. Tell me about your maps. 2 tasks are left to Guyven. Make a map of the lands I've wandered, and find myself a worthy successor. The maps I've been working on are of Neverwinter and her wood, of the Mare and as far north of the Sluskin. Don't know how much it'll help it will be for one such as you, but Guyven wants to leave a legacy. Well, before we speak with Kanna, I'm curious about what's down in the basement. Oh dear. The construct is here. also workbenches. The construct makes no response. You may want to ask Grobnar any questions about it, since he spent the most time with it.
One thing. I had a favor, really. I keep hearing about this tome of Ilkazar, and if I recall correctly, it has a few fascinating chapters on Golem Craft.
So?
Well, if we were to get a hold of it, we might be able to use it to help upgrade the construct. I mean, he's walking around and healthy as golems go. But I only know so much about golems. There may be something I missed that could help him that would be in the tome.
Sounds good. If we can restore him completely, he'll be an asset.
That's what I say. So glad you agreed. I was worried this was one of those times when I had a bad idea.
Alright, I had other questions.
Ask away.
I think I got some
Always
pieces
ready with
for the
answers.
construct.
Yes. Oh, really? Let me see. Oh my, yes, this should help nicely. Let me see what I can do with this and what I have here. There we go. Needs a little more, I think, but it's well on its way.
Okay. So, try
Some
talking
way
to
I
him
can
again?
help?
No. I guess... Do we have a quest for it? Ah, reactivating the construct. Grobnar thinks that the construct could be reactivated if the runes on its outer surface were redrawn. He believes that he can do this given the proper materials. So far, you have an old tome entitled The Ancient Art of Golem Craft. The diagrams contained within should prove helpful in properly restoring the missing runes. Before Grobnar can begin work on the construct, he will still need to find a glowing liquid to serve as ink and a sample of the original runes. Not sure where I'll be able to find that. Well, we got a few things here that we can throw to places. Is that... That's Kistrel! That spider that we found! Kistrel chitters excitedly when he sees you. How did you know to come here? You left rather abruptly last time. Kistrel scribbles what appears to be a crude drawing of you and himself, both walking. There's a large gap between the two pictures. It would seem that Kistrel has been following you for quite some time. It wasn't necessary to keep your distance. I would have welcomed your company. Kistrel gestures at the room with his mandibles and stares at you expectantly. You get the impression he's asking you if he can stay. You're welcome to stay. There's plenty of room for anyone who's a friend. Kistrel clacks its mandibles excitedly. Hey! The giant spider is now allied with us. Huzzah! And I believe I'm probably going to end this here now. Specifically because I think this is a good place to pause. Somewhat, anyway. And I believe next episode we're going to do is speak with Kanna and actually get into the process of building this place up. That should be good, I do think. And then we'll actually start with this. There's plenty more that we're going to have to do as well. That'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I'm Chesuk44. That is Travis Ignam. Nishka, Zahavi, Kelgar, Ironfist, and Chandra. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2, and I shall see you all next time.